Erica Stefanko and Amanda Collier had never met face to face, but their lives were fatally intertwined. One was the wife, the other the ex-girlfriend, and between them stood a man whose past became a motive for murder. Erica Stefanko lived in a quiet neighborhood in small-town Ohio, the kind of place where everyone waved at each other from their front porches, and nothing ever seemed out of the ordinary. She blended in easily, never drawing attention to herself. She kept a tidy home, took care of the lawn, and made polite conversation with the neighbors. If you passed her in the supermarket, you probably wouldn't remember her face the next day. She worked part-time at a local hardware store, often stocking shelves or ringing up customers at the register. No one suspected that beneath her calm, unremarkable exterior, something far more sinister was taking shape. To most people, Erica was just another suburban wife. She had been married to Chad Stefanko for a few years. Their life was routine, paying bills, cooking dinner, watching TV at night. But there was something Erica could never quite let go of: Chad's past. More specifically, his ex-girlfriend, Amanda Collier. Amanda had been a part of Chad's life years before he met Erica, but the relationship hadn't ended cleanly. From what little Chad had mentioned, there had been arguments, jealousy, even police involvement once. But he insisted it was long over. Still, Erica couldn't help but fixate on Amanda. Every time her name came up in passing or appeared in a friend's tagged photo online, Erica felt a tightness in her chest. At first, it was just curiosity. She looked up Amanda's Facebook profile. She scrolled through old photos, reading captions, studying the comments. Amanda still lived relatively nearby, only about half an hour away. She worked at a small deli and often posted cheerful updates about her day. She didn't seem like a threat, at least not directly, but something about her presence, so close, so visible, bothered Erica more than she was willing to admit. Over time, that curiosity turned into obsession. Erica found herself checking Amanda's social media pages daily, sometimes several times a day. She tracked Amanda's job shifts using public reviews and timestamps from delivery apps. She even drove by Amanda's workplace once, staying in her car just to see her. It didn't matter that Chad insisted he hadn't spoken to Amanda in years. In Erica's mind, Amanda still lingered between them, like a stain she couldn't scrub away. The resentment started to fester. Erica began imagining confrontations that never happened, fights, accusations, angry words exchanged. These thoughts played in her mind like scenes from a movie she couldn't pause. She wondered if Amanda ever thought about Chad, if she'd ever reach out to him again, if maybe, deep down, Amanda was waiting for her chance to win him back. Erica didn't say any of this out loud. She kept smiling, kept going to work, kept folding laundry and washing dishes, but something had shifted. The more she watched Amanda's life from a distance, the more Erica convinced herself that the only way to get peace was to erase Amanda from the picture entirely. Not metaphorically, literally. And slowly, the idea of doing something about it stopped being just a thought. It started to feel like a plan. Erica's mind kept returning to the old phone she had found in the bottom of a drawer, her husband Chad's long-forgotten cell, buried beneath loose cords and broken chargers. It was dusty, scratched, and barely powered on. She hadn't been looking for anything in particular when she found it, but curiosity led her to charge it and scroll through the messages and contacts. That's when she saw Amanda Collier's name. It was just a name on a screen, no recent messages, no calls, but it set something off inside Erica that she couldn't ignore. She stared at the screen for several minutes, her thoughts spinning. That name, Amanda, was a reminder of a time Chad had lived without her, of a woman he had once chosen. It didn't matter that he had moved on. It didn't matter that he hadn't mentioned Amanda in years. What mattered was that her number was still there, saved and untouched, like a keepsake from a different life. Erica didn't confront Chad about it. She said nothing. Instead, she took a screenshot of the contact info and quietly began searching for more. Amanda was easy to find. Her social media pages were public, filled with smiling selfies, photos of her dog, and updates about her job at a local deli. She seemed friendly, ordinary, someone who wouldn't see danger coming. Erica followed her digital trail obsessively. She tracked Amanda's work hours based on her posts. She figured out her route to work by matching background landmarks in her photos. It became a routine. Every day, Erica checked in, watched from a distance, noted the details Amanda casually shared with the world. That's when an idea started to form, first as a passing thought, then as something sharper, more deliberate. What if Amanda could be lured somewhere far from her normal routine, somewhere isolated? Erica knew that Amanda sometimes worked late shifts and helped with deliveries when the store was short-staffed. It wouldn't be hard to place a phone order, a simple pizza request, cash on delivery, and an unfamiliar address. If Amanda were the one assigned to that order, she'd go without hesitation. That was the job. Erica began researching how to make her plan work. She downloaded a voice changer app, one designed to mask her tone and make her sound like a man. She practiced different voices, recorded messages, played them back. She read articles about how police traced phone calls and made sure to buy a prepaid phone with cash, one that couldn't be linked to her. Every detail mattered. Every mistake could expose her. The more she prepared, the more confident she became. It no longer felt like a question of if, but when. She had the address picked out, an abandoned house on the outskirts of town, one she had seen while driving a few weeks earlier. Overgrown yard, broken windows, no neighbors nearby. The perfect place. The kind of place where no one would hear anything. The kind of place people didn't visit unless they had a reason. And so on a cold evening, Erica made the call, her voice disguised, her plan in motion. She placed the order, a large pepperoni pizza, paid in cash, sent to a forgotten house on a quiet road. Then she waited. Amanda Collier had no reason to question the order that came in near the end of her shift. It was a cold, gray evening, the kind that made people crave warm food and early nights. The delivery details looked simple enough. Pepperoni pizza, cash, payment, a high tip listed. The address was unfamiliar, but she had delivered outside the usual range before. The store was understaffed that night, and Amanda often volunteered for the longer runs. She grabbed her coat, slid the pizza into the insulated bag, and headed out without a second thought. The drive took longer than she expected. Streetlights became sparse, and the roads narrowed into wooded stretches with hardly any signs of life. Her GPS kept rerouting, struggling with the weak signal. When she finally turned onto the right road, she noticed how quiet it was. There were no other cars, no houses with porch lights, just empty space and trees pressing in on both sides. The address led her to a crumbling house at the end of a dirt path. It looked abandoned, shutters hanging off the windows, roof partially, caved in, weeds growing through the cracks in the driveway. Amanda hesitated. It didn't look like someone lived there, but she had seen stranger things. She parked her car and left the engine running. Taking the pizza in hand, she stepped out and walked toward the porch. Her vehicle was already waiting. An older model sedan, dark-colored, parked a short distance away with its lights off. Amanda slowed, puzzled, unsure if it was related to the order. No one approached her. The wind rustled the trees around her, and the house loomed silently ahead. She stepped onto the porch, trying to peer inside. No movement, no sounds. Then, out of nowhere, something struck her from behind. There was no time to scream, no chance to run. She was dragged into the woods, nearby hidden in the shadows of bare trees. The attack was swift and brutal. Her phone remained in her pocket, untouched. Her keys fell into the grass. The pizza box landed a few feet away, still closed. The next morning, a hunter passing through the area noticed something odd, the abandoned car still idling on the edge of the woods. Inside, Amanda's purse and phone sat undisturbed. Police were called and a search began. Her body was found a short distance away, partially hidden under branches and leaves. There were no defensive wounds, no signs of a struggle. Whoever had attacked her had come prepared and left nothing behind. The community was shocked. Amanda was known and liked by many. Her murder didn't make sense. She wasn't involved in anything dangerous. She had no enemies, no known threats. Investigators struggled to find a motive. There were no fingerprints, no witnesses, and no surveillance in the area. The phone number used to place the order led to a prepaid burner phone that had since been discarded. The only thing they knew for sure was that Amanda had been lured, intentionally and with purpose, and whoever did it had vanished without a trace. Months passed, and Amanda Collier's murder slowly faded from headlines. The investigation remained open, but leads had dried up. Detectives had interviewed friends, co-workers, and delivery customers from that night. They chased down tips, combed through security footage from nearby businesses, and traced the burner phone used to place the order. But everything led to dead ends. Whoever planned the murder had gone to great lengths to cover their tracks. It was beginning to look like the case might never be solved, but one detective, a detail-oriented investigator named Jenna Moore, refused to let it go. She revisited old evidence, reread statements, and reviewed every step Amanda had taken that night. One thing continued to bother her: the prepaid phone. The call had been routed through a nearby tower on the outskirts of town. It wasn't a precise location, but the signal pattern suggested the caller hadn't been too far from the Stefanko residence. It wasn't enough to make an arrest or even bring someone in, but it nagged at Moore like a splinter she couldn't ignore. Eventually, she obtained a warrant to dig deeper into people connected to Chad Stefanko. His criminal record from years prior had raised eyebrows, even though he claimed to have changed his life. During the background check, Moore discovered something that stood out. Chad had registered multiple phones under his name over the years, including one that had recently been sold online. That discovery led her to the old phone Erica had found months before, the one with Amanda's number still saved. The phone had been tossed in a drawer, left untouched, but it still held data. When Moore finally got access to it, she uncovered more than just the contact list. She found a voice changer app installed months earlier. The app contained test recordings, short phrases, strange voices, distorted tones. The dates of those recordings lined up with the timing of Amanda's murder. Even more alarming was the browser history. Someone had searched for terms like "how" to disguise your voice over the phone, untraceable phone call, and abandoned houses near me. One of the searches listed the exact address where Amanda had been lured. Erica Stefanko had left a trail, and now it was starting to unravel. Detectives began to re-examine Erica's activity in the weeks before the murder. Her phone's GPS history showed brief late-night trips to the area where Amanda was found, even though Erica had no clear reason to be there. More digging revealed gas station surveillance footage showing a car matching Erica's pulling into a lot less than a mile from the crime scene, just an hour before Amanda was killed. While the footage was grainy, the shape and dents on the vehicle were consistent with hers. Everything began to point in her direction, not as an accidental connection, but as the planner behind the murder. The fake pizza order, the burner phone, the isolated location, it had all been carefully designed. Erica had never physically touched Amanda, but every step of the trap bore her fingerprints in another way. For the first time since the investigation began, police had a suspect, and behind the quiet face of a suburban wife, they had found a cold and calculated mind. Erica Stefanko was arrested quietly one morning in the driveway of her home. Police arrived just after sunrise with a warrant, catching her completely off guard. Neighbors watched from their windows as she was handcuffed and placed into the back of a squad car. The woman they had known for years as polite and reserved was suddenly at the center of a murder investigation. The charges were serious: first-degree murder, criminal conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. Erica didn't resist, and she didn't speak. She stared blankly ahead, her expression unreadable. The case quickly drew widespread attention. The prosecution painted a clear picture of a woman driven by jealousy, who had grown obsessed with her husband's former girlfriend and plotted her death with chilling precision. The voice changer app, the GPS history, the burner phone, the search terms, it was all laid out for the jury. Erica had spent months preparing, covering her tracks, and executing a plan that ended with Amanda Collier's murder. The evidence was circumstantial but compelling. Piece by piece, it painted a story of intent. Still, Erica's defense team argued there was no direct proof she had killed Amanda or even been at the scene. They claimed the evidence only suggested an unhealthy interest, not a murder plot. But their strategy began to fall apart when a new revelation changed the direction of the trial entirely. Chad Stefanko, Erica's husband, came forward with a confession. In a meeting with prosecutors, he admitted that he had known about the plan all along. According to Chad, Erica had talked about wanting Amanda gone for months. At first, he thought she was just venting, but over time her ideas became more specific. She mentioned using a fake order to lure Amanda somewhere remote. Chad confessed that he helped Erica select the abandoned house and even suggested a burner phone. He claimed he never believed Erica would follow through with the plan. He thought it was just talk. His decision to testify against his wife was part of a plea deal. In exchange for a reduced sentence, Chad provided detailed accounts of their conversations, dates, and actions. Prosecutors now had insider confirmation of Erica's intent. Even if Chad's hands were not directly involved, his testimony solidified the case. The jury saw it as undeniable proof that Erica had not acted on impulse. She had planned Amanda's death step by step, and Chad had been a silent partner. Erica showed little emotion during the trial. She neither cried nor spoke in her defense. She sat still, her face expressionless as the jury delivered the verdict. Guilty on all counts. The sentence was swift, life in prison without the possibility of parole. Chad, too, received time behind bars, though significantly less due to his cooperation. The story shocked the community, not just because of the brutal nature of the crime, but because of who had committed it. A quiet woman living in plain sight, hiding a deep and dangerous obsession. Erica Stefanko's desire to erase the past had turned into a calculated act of murder, ending one life and destroying another in the process.